those are things like, I don't want my wife to worry. I don't want, so I'm like, how do I take this off her plate? How am I? So I spend so much of my brain power and energy focused on those things. I tell Z, Byron, you've been with Tabitha longer than, any of us, and met her younger, but Z's been with me since she was 21. Like, she turned 21 in September. I met her in November. Like, she had just started drinking. Like, I've been a part of her life, her whole adult life. She's never had a car note. She's like, I've been able to try to eliminate some of those struggles and challenges that most women face.
I just thought it was so funny, Fern. Like, I remember I take care of so much. I think it was one of her girls' trips. It was the first time she had to pay for a hotel room. She was like, hotels cost this much? I want to say, yes, nigga. The post, man. Leah appreciated anniversary.
Yeah, man. Yeah, she loved it.
Hey, let's
y'all able to get up with Bruce?
Let's jump into it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You got a whole. If we only had a place we could talk. Hey, what up? It's Three Brothers No Sense, your favorite barbershop style podcast. These boys so excited they jumping the gun. Got to reel them back in, man.
Giving away free content.
Yeah, right. What up, people? Yeah, people pay no money for this. All right, man. What's going on, fellas? What it do?
Holla at them, Rising.
Yeah, what's up, y'all? Yes, shout out to Leah. We did our 2-year anniversary. We were on the trip when we recorded last week, and we really, really enjoyed it. I don't know if I talked about the sumo and sushi that we went to last week or not, but it was really, really dope. We went, hung out with that. Didn't get a chance to get up with Bruce because at the end, the plan was to go over his house and watch the Verzuz, but what ended up happening was we got out of sumo and sushi, and I called and he was like, yeah, I'm about an hour away. And I was like, yo, once we get back to that hotel, ain't no coming back out. So we ain't end up getting up. But shout out to them, man. They did such an amazing, a solid for me. They went, decorated the room. So him, Bruce, Alexis, I appreciate y'all taking the time out Friday, going and decorating the room and everything. Leah walked into the room, and she probably going to cuss me out. I probably have to take this out. But she walked into the room, and she thought she had ordered some chocolate covered strawberries and a charcuterie board and everything. So we, when we got there, we'd have that. And she thought they had decorated for the charcuterie board. So she walked in all regular, looking at me like I was, gonna be surprised. And then she's like, they did a whole lot for the charcuterie. I was like, no, I had this done. And then she just bust out crying. So, so she was super appreciative, man. So just shout out to y'all, man. Bruce, Alexis, I appreciate y'all so much, man, for making that happen. Babe, I love you. I appreciate it for 2 years, and here's to more. Only other things I got, man. Netflix. Y'all know I love me some Netflix stock. They announced that they're going to do a 10-for-1 split. So that's huge. They're trading over $1,000 right now. So for the folks who kind of don't know what that means, what they'll do is if it's $1,000, they will give you, say you own one share for $1,000, they will give you 9 additional shares, and then they're going to drop the price down to $100 a share. That's a 10-for-1 split. And what that does is it lets people go in and buy more stock, right? Because it's cheaper, because they want to get their volume up. And usually what happens after that and after a split is the price drives back up a little bit. So that's huge for the folks who already own Netflix, but it does give you an opportunity to go and buy some Netflix or buy any stock that splits like that, because it's just much more accessible. It's not cheaper. It's the same price because you're getting the same kind of ownership of the company with that share. But what ends up happening is you're able to kind of get into it a little bit cheaper. So really, really cool for the folks who own stock there. One other thing that I got that I wanted to talk through is y'all president. Well, there's so much to talk about with him, but the only thing I'm going to talk about with him is that he has limited how many immigrants he's going to allow to be able to come into the U.S. at 7,500, and most of those are going to be white South Africans. So any other country that's trying to come into America, sorry for you. That's if you're not white and South African, you probably won't make that $7,500 or 7,500 people limit that he has set on immigration reform. For the folks out there that are on SNAP, just know that a court ordered the Republicans to release the SNAP funds because they have a contingency out there. Nobody got their SNAP benefits for the first, but a court did order the administration to release the emergency funds that they have set aside for just this type of thing. And so just want to throw that out there. I don't know if they're going to actually do it or not because, Trump doesn't give a shit about what the courts say and tell him to do. So we'll see. But just know that whole lie the Republicans have been saying about SNAP benefits and they can't do anything until, the government opens back up. It's a lie. They had emergency contingency money and they just decided not to use it. The courts told them they have to.
Good stuff, brother. Good stuff. So I got a few things. One, man, I actually could probably do this every week, but I'm one of them people that, I tell it to her face. So I don't feel the need to like do the public social media type stuff, but I just felt like it's worthy this time. I want to give a shout out to my wife, man. I think I mentioned some of this last week, how we kind of started some of Jasmine's birthday celebration last week. But as many of you know, we're in a government shutdown. I'm affected. I haven't seen a full paycheck since September. So while I am blessed to have the reserves to pay for the necessities, I'm a bit more hesitant on paying for extras and things like that. And she stepped up and she's holding it down. Like, had one of the best weekends I've ever had in a long time last week. We went to a haunted house that my daughter wanted to go to that she liked. We went out to eat. The next day we went to a Jeffrey Osborne concert, who sings her favorite love song of all time, Love Ballad.
Woo Woo Woo?
No, Love Ballad. Woo 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 is probably her second or third by him, but he did perform that. Also, I hope to have the energy that brother has at age 77, because he is very energetic moving around that stage and stuff, man. So it was just cool to see the person that she's listened to for years, sing her favorite love song of all time. So I just want to give her a shout out because she's picking up all of the little things that I can't take care of during this government shutdown. And so I'm very appreciative of that. And last but not least, Black people, man. I love our community, bro. That was some post. I forgot exactly what it was. I think it had like all the top hood candies, and it had like Johnny Appleseed and Lemonhead and Boston baked beans, which I think are disgusting, but a lot of people like them, so they made the cut. And I just made the comment like, "Hey, them empty box of Lemonheads turned into a harmonica,
A harmonica,
hood
yeah.
harmonica," and the fact that people from all over. Like, I grew up in Mobile, Alabama. You got people from Detroit, LA, New York. They all knew what I was talking about. And I just think it's so cool to like be from all these different areas, but because you Black and you share that sameness, everybody knew what I was talking about. And I just thought that was cool, man. So just, I don't know. I shout out to Black people. I don't know. I don't even know.
You're on mute, Fert.
You know what I'm saying? But that was cool,
I got you,
bro.
I don't think I did that with any other box outside of the Lemonheads.
Yeah, that's the only box. I don't know why.
I
ate the other candies.
The Johnny Apples, what was
Johnny Appleseed,
Gilbert Grape and all that stuff. I didn't. Now that's when you get really hood into the, but maybe because everybody loved Lemonheads.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I think we should do.
But who's the first person? See, that should have been a
Chappelle skit.
It's so much Black history out there that hasn't even been tapped into. Who was the first brother or sister that was probably disappointed that they were out of Lemonheads?
Held on to the box. Because it gotta be closed. Both ends gotta be closed. And then you gotta like crinkle it just a little bit to be able to like get
I think that should have been maybe we'll have a since February is Black History Month, we're gonna make November Hood Black History Month.
Right.
And we're gonna talk about Hood Black History facts.
We're gonna figure that out. We gotta figure that out.
It's November 1st. Today is November 1st for people that don't know. And I think that's something all Black people can relate to, is the fact that familiarity with Lemonheads. And I'm actually thinking about doing a hood challenge and introducing my kids to certain things. I think maybe we'll do one challenge a week for the month of November.
You gonna see if your kids can relate.
I think everybody should let their kids try some lemon heads and get their perspective.
My kids,
Has
they've had
Jasmine ever had
lemon
lemon
heads.
heads? Huh?
Yeah, mine have had lemon heads.
I don't know. I definitely don't see them in the store. I know the single ones. I seen like the little single bigger ones more recently than I have the box. I haven't seen the box in age.
Yeah, the Dollar Tree has them, so that's where we.
Yeah. Well, speaking of hood Black history, shout out to semi shout out to Verzuz. The idea of the No Limit Cash Money Verzuz was
Tell them why it's semi.
Them niggas was on I don't know what it was, but they paid for
Can we say it was in the wrong city? It was
well,
in
first
the
of all,
wrong.
it was in the wrong city.
It's in the wrong.
But then
city.
they ran out of time.
Yeah,
like they ain't put enough minutes on.
And look, I'm gonna say it, and maybe it's biased. It should have been in Mobile. If it wasn't gonna be in New Orleans, obviously New Orleans is the first choice. But if it wasn't gonna be in New Orleans, it should have been in Mobile. Because if you look at Houston, New Orleans,
Houston would be my second choice.
Houston, okay, maybe
Houston is New Orleans West.
Okay, because I was thinking from New Orleans east. And if you go along that I-10 corridor from New Orleans to Pensacola, Mobile is the biggest city. But I didn't think about Houston if you go a little west. Yeah. So, okay.
No, but no, either Houston. One. The South. It should have been in the South.
Yes.
The South
definitely not in Vegas.
I needed Dre to jump on the mic and talk about that.
And like regular people, because I think Gucci and Jeezy was in Atlanta, but even that, we didn't get the crowd vibes that like people were saying that should have been in Birmingham, Gucci and Jeezy. You needed like a Mobile or Houston. Man, it would have been so much better.
I saw a lot of young kids there that didn't know No Limit or
Body came out before they were born.
Right. Like it wasn't a millennial. Like it wasn't. The crowd wasn't really into it. Like that was sad. And you really have to think about, especially No Limit. No Limit was very regional, right? Like they didn't have that huge commercial success that Cash Money did. And that's why everybody was like, Cash Money is going to kill No Limit. Cash Money is going to kill No Limit, because they didn't know how deep No Limit was outside of the South, outside of the regional South. Like you had a couple bangers that was like nationwide, but for a lot of those songs on No Limit, it wasn't a nationwide thing. It was really in the South.
Agreed with that. But I also think even as somebody from the South, and I said it initially, it depends on what the parameters around the verses were, because if it's No Limit versus Cash Money, no Young Money, no, Wayne when he left, like Angry Wayne, like when we're talking about that from 95 to 2005, 2004, right? Like you can't, within that window it was closer. But when you just like Wayne could go away with it, and then you can bring Young Money in. But it was funny because I'm in a couple of groups, and like you said, it was people who weren't from the South who had opinions, and I'm kind of like, I really saw where people come from. Where like, well, if you ain't black woman, you can't really understand, or somebody like you really can't relate to this, because that was like, yeah, you think you got it, but you don't understand the impact, because like you said, the exposure wasn't there. What say you guys? I think we talked about it. What was your takeaway from? And we'll limit this to about
I think
3 or 4 minutes.
I think Cash Money has the bigger, better national hits, but I think No Limit watched them in that Verzuz. And part of it is because of the format of Verzuz. Like I was telling Tabitha, especially since it's not COVID anymore, like Verzuz was born because of COVID. But now that we outside, I wish it could be like a full show. Like I would have liked to see Master P come out the No Limit Soldiers and do like a real performance. Verzuz essentially is play the song with a bunch of niggas standing behind you, and you got like this small area on the stage to go back and forth on, and then you throw it back to the other side. I would love to see like different performance, like actual performances. But No Limit watched them because the format was Cash Money went first, and the way I judge it like a boxing match. So whatever song Cash Money drops, yeah, that's a hit. Man, I don't know how No Limit gonna respond to that. And then they drop Break 'Em Off song. And then they drop They drop No Limit Soldiers or they drop Swamp Nigga
Wobble
or whatever
Wobble,
like
like,
that.
yeah.
It's like, yeah, that was a bigger song. But I remember when that one dropped, how it hit in the club in Mobile. You know what I'm saying? So No Limit watched it.
Yeah,
And
that's
I'm Team Cash Money.
Yeah, that's what I think a lot of people don't. And when people say this person can't win a versus this person, or they don't have a large enough catalog, that's always my response to them is it's only 20 songs. If they got 20 bangers, it doesn't matter if you got 45, 50 songs. It's 20 songs a piece.
You know what? The New York version of this is Dipset versus the Lox, because Dipset probably got a little more popular than the Lox, but the Lox had Jada Kiss, and Jada came hungry.
Right.
And Jada and the Lox was for the streets. You know what I'm saying? And they had street people in Madison Square Garden, and that's what carried them over. Plus, like Jada Kiss's antics and carried over.
And that's it. It's like, so because I don't know if y'all have heard, Jay-Z came out, he was like, he won't do a versus because he's like, nobody can stand on the stage with me. And there's plenty of people that can stand on the stage with Jay-Z on versus with 20 songs. Like, that's the thing, song for song, like you said, Buff, it's all about what you counter with. And there are people that can maybe get up there. I'm not saying that they're going to win.
I'm not going to say it's plenty. I'm not going to say it's plenty. But
when I say plenty, I'm like, it's not like one or two. Like there's
Drake.
Drake
can. Kendrick can. A sober Lil Wayne can.
Yeah.
It was like a couple more people.
Busta Rhymes can. Let's not skip on it. Kanye can. There are people that can get on that stage with him and go song for song. And T-Pain, T-Pain can get on the stage with him and with all of his songs that he has and go song for song with Jay-Z.
Yeah, but I think it has to be similar vibes too. Like T-Pain and Jay-Z aren't on the same, not even on the same level. I'm just saying it's two different vibes.
T-Pain would need to go against Trey Songz or somebody.
I can see T-Pain.
T-Pain is so eclectic. That's the problem. Like he has.
No, I think
you'd have to go T-Pain, Lil Jon, or something like that. Like to be able to.
That's it.
That would be
T-Pain, Lil Jon, or something like that. The hype man.
Swiss, you listening? Swiss, are you listening, brother?
They both they were some of the best features. Had their own hits. They always had the club hype, but in a different way, right? Because I was thinking like Lil Jon, I'm like maybe Luda or Yin Yang Twins, but Lil Jon and T-Pain is the way to go. First of all, Byron, you made me just realize that Swamp Nigga wasn't on there, and I'm disappointed.
So was it?
They ran out. And so, one, I don't understand the whole ran out of time thing. Like that's another thing. Like I don't get.
They said they booked it. Somebody was saying there was somebody else had a show right after that. Like it was.
The venue. So they ran out of time at the venue.
Ran out. Yeah, but I think for me, what it came down to was Cash Money had hits. First of all, 100 Degrees is probably
classic.
Definitely one of the dopest albums of the 90s. Like it was one of those almost press play, let it ride. There wasn't a lot of No Limit CDs like that just because it was about churn and burn. They coming out with a new CD every 2 weeks, right? But you gonna get 2 or 3 bangers. For me, I think it was the familiarity with it. Like they seem like No Limit just seemed like the everyday dude that you saw at Municipal Park, you saw at the skating rink, you saw like skipping school. Like they seem like the local hood dude that, because they weren't flashy. They had they one tank necklace chain, and I could relate to it. Cash Money came out with bling bling, and it's like I can't relate to that. Like it's even the cars they talked about. Like Bourbons and Lacs. Those were the hood cars. Those are the cars that we wanted to get. So if you're from the South, that's what was up. Like you wanted to get an old school black, you know what I'm saying? You wanted to get a Cutlass. You wanted to get a Caprice. You wanted to get a box Chevy or something that we all $1,200 box Chevy, put $1,500 rims on it. That was what I think the average person from the South could relate to, similar to Outkast. Outkast came out talking about like stuff. They talk about the martyr, like they talking about riding a bus. Like we felt the hood, and not like on some gangster. Even though gangster is an old another song we could talked about, but I related to that. I just remember being, I feel like No Limit was
They're the soundtrack of our high school.
yeah, definitely soundtrack. But I feel like there were like 1 or 2 degrees of separation type things where you felt like you could get that lack. You felt like you can get the stuff they were talking about.
Yeah,
And
Cash Money it was like bling bling, like super, like the stunting piece of it. Like
I'm about to be I can't stunt.
They had a helicopter on Bling Blings.
Yeah. Like
but
it's
out of all of this, Mia X got her flowers.
Man,
Andrew.
So
I'm not gonna give Mia X all
we talk about who's the greatest: Nicki Minaj, Lil Kim, Eve, Rhapsody. I'm not saying Mia X is the greatest.
She need to be in that conversation.
Damn it. She deserves some respect, and she's like I compared it to Dipset and the Locks. Just like Jada got his flowers, she's getting her flowers from this Verzuz, man, and it's so dope to see.
I think we should apologize to Mia X right now because I think so many times we've had conversations about female MCs, maybe just not on the show, just in general, and we have downplayed the impact and the flow of the biggest mama.
Lady was like that.
Yeah, I think what ends up happening with Mia is what happens with most. Well, not just that. I think what happens with most lyricists on No Limit, because all of their songs were almost compilation. Like everything had a couple people on it. They didn't like almost none of their songs were just them, right? Where Nicki can have her own song, right? Cardi can have her own song.
That's
like
a good point.
It was never that. I saw Mac was talking about that. He was on a podcast right after, and he was just like, "Look, what happened was." When we were making an album, people's dropping an album a week, every 2 weeks. And so they'll be like, what songs you got ready? And if it's, say it's Mac's album, say, C Murder got a song that he likes, he'll put Mac on there as a verse and they'll put it on Mac album because Mac's album is the next one coming out. And so that's how they were turning it out. It was just like, oh, you got a song that's ready or semi-ready? That's going on Mercedes' album. And Mercedes' album actually did come out, y'all, in 99. But it just didn't sell anything. But what I think what happens with Mia is she just gets overshadowed because it feels like she was just featured, whereas she wasn't carrying her own song often. That's the only thing I can think of.
So is that the reason none of them really broke out too?
I think so.
Maybe they are a lesser version, or this is a stretch now, of Outkast, where Dre, sometimes people try to put
Big Boy
him
like,
down,
or Big Boy, right? Like, he's not as much of a lyricist because he's
it's
rapping
like
with
they did.
Big
Thank
Boy.
you for saying that, Rozzy.
I
lose my mind over that. Big Boy can spit,
right?
My bad. And see, because now you're comparing versus you're just getting all of one. Because still to this day, one of my favorite albums is The Love Below and Speaker Box. Like if they mesh it together, that's a whole other conversation. But
I do. I think that's why nobody broke out as a solo artist after No Limit, because it felt like you were featured. It was everything was compilation.
Yeah, and
Mia's been through a lot too. I think she lost both of her. She lost both of her parents, like I think within a 3-month window.
Yeah,
and then she dealt with an illness, and now she's doing the whole Benjamin Button aging thing, where she looks better now. She looks better now.
Isn't she a breast cancer survivor?
Is that what it was?
I think she just. I forgot what the health risk was, but it was a serious health complication.
Yeah.
So she did phenomenal. She looked phenomenal. She sounded great.
Right.
Like she sounded more like. You know how they be like, I hate to, people have funerals like he looked just like himself. Like she sounded just like herself. You go to a concert and you hear it and they don't sound like they sound.
Right. They sound winded, like because folks don't understand how hard it is to rap. Like how hard it is to actually have your wind up.
About it, Rising. They still won't let us flow.
They won't let us rap. Man. I know.
But
so
last thing is I think the compilation strategy is also what made them so successful, is because you didn't get too much of one person, where I'll go buy C Murder's album because Mac and Fiend and Mia and Silk are on, like you're gonna get so much of everything where you're just not like, if you don't like Jay-Z, you're not gonna buy a Jay-Z album. But I don't think anybody did it like No Limit, where as a group there were so many people, and even on the verses, back to the verses, that's why the energy was always so high with them. is because all you got to do is one verse. I think probably some of our favorite songs are compilations, right? Like Darwin, Renegade, and like you think about it was a battle. Could M have kept that up for a whole song?
Right.
Right? All you gotta do is drop one hot verse. Jay do what he do. We got a hit.
Right.
Right.
It's much easier to write a 16 than it is to write 32 or whatever. Yeah. Yeah.
Allegedly.
Shout out to the person who wrote the post, woke up and did 25 Drew Hills and 60 seconds of Master P steps. Finna be Olympic form for you niggas.
Man.
Saw that. I wanted to add.
We all know what the Master P steps.
Yeah.
That run.
100 Browns. That every little step.
And we know the Drew Hills are.
Yeah,
Drew Hills are like burpees almost without hitting the ground. Oh, man, we had too much fun with that segment.
Oh, man, but shout out to Mia. I think on Cash Money's side, Juvie.
Yeah.
He carried.
Juvie did his thing.
Yep.
I'd like for Birdman to, if we do a do-over, he can sit this one out. It's just something about Birdman. He just rubs people the
what
wrong.
I want to see, truthfully, is a No Limit Cash Money tour. They should go on tour together.
Well,
they
right
can't.
now, Juvie
They can't.
and Mia X are doing like a cruise tour together. Her, Juvie, and KLC. So I think that's dope.
Yeah. But still, I think that would sell out. Like Cash Money did theirs, but Wayne has basically said that he's not going. He's not messing with Cash Money like that anymore. Now that they're falling out with Turk, so you can't have a Cash Money tour. But I think if this was together, I would be fine with Wayne not coming. If we got a Cash Money,
Birdman stays away, would that change if Birdman stays away?
Maybe. Because I think he still messes with Turk. He still messes with Juvie.
But
I think you could have a Cash Money without Birdman.
Yeah, but definitely could. It's not even a question, especially if Wayne is there. But for Wayne as a businessman, I get it. There's no benefit to Wayne to doing any of this.
Right.
There's
he can sell his own tour out. Why would he go on a compilation
don't even
tour?
appear on Versus. Imagine Wayne would have showed up and No Limit still would have won.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's no upside to him. If he would have showed up and Cash Money would have won, they're supposed to win. Wayne's there, right? Like there's no. It's like boxing, right? Like you don't take certain fights. Like it's too risky.
They played the whole Millie. Wayne wasn't even there.
There's no upside to Wayne being there for Wayne.
Man, but hey, maybe we can get that T-Pain Lil Jon.
That would be dope. Because T-Pain's done Versus before, right? But who did he go against? Did T-Pain do Versus?
I feel like he did. I just don't know who. Against who?
Neo or somebody?
Wait, did they already do it? They did. April 5th, 2020.
Who did he go against?
It was a lot going on at that time. We got to look. Who won?
Oh, he did it with Lil.
Yeah. He did do it with Lil Jon.
Hot damn.
We're not as smart as we thought we were.
Hey, I have to admit, I'm not the biggest Versus.
I think I'm going to go back and watch it.
2000 April 5th. That was like the big. Was that the first one?
I know, right?
Was it official or was it like
they had just canceled?
It's on Versus. It's on their YouTube. So yeah, it was official.
All right, let's
get into it.
Let's get into it, man.
Everybody got a question last week. Hey, so listen, I started off the show complimenting my wife. I actually want to ask you brothers a question that is inspired by her because she asked it to me. You start reflecting when your child is getting ready to become a year older and stuff like that. You start reflecting on certain things. But she asked me this question. I'm asking y'all this. It's a two-part question. It's a two-part question. So it's two questions, and each question has two parts. How do I want to phrase this? What do you think you're doing great as a husband? And what do you feel like you need to work on more? And what do you think you're doing great as a father? And what do you think, with Rising, you have an adult kid. So with Haley, what do you think you could have done better? And with Sophie and Ali, what do you think you need to work? So as a husband, what are you doing good? What do you need to work on? As a father, what are you doing good? What do you feel like you need to work on?
That's a tough question, especially for me, because it's hard for me to applaud myself, if that makes sense.
But you are the one that told me and Razi we need to celebrate ourselves more.
Yeah,
I need you to dig deep.
Because I need to. Dig deep. I need to as well.
Push aside the humility.
He gonna cry.
Well, he's not now. You said it. If you say that, he's not gonna do it. Now he's gonna hold it back. you you made us miss a moment, Rising.
No,
Idiot.
I have an answer, but I think it might be.
Just throw it out, bro. Like,
I don't know. I think as a husband, my intent. I'm very intentional with Z. Like I have so much focus and a vision of the person I want to be for her, the things but I think intent could almost seem like a cop out, right? Because it's not always the action. The intent is the action. If I mess up, if I do something, I try to reflect on it. It's like how do I do that better? How do like I'm always
striving to be better.
like
Just
I'm struggling to be better.
mm-hmm.
Like I want to be the best version of myself for her. She makes me the best version of I want to be great for her. Like I think about like if I were in her shoes, what would I want for me? And all this stuff. But what should I be doing in this moment? Or how should I try to lead? How can I help make myself better and help make her better? What's on her mind? Like I'm always thinking about being this person for her. Which leads me to the second part is what could I do better? The me I am and the me I want to be are two different people. Like and maybe they fall in line. Like I want to be better for her. Like
it's lacking though.
I'll have a whole
like you're saying who you are today and who you want to be. What's lacking? Where do you like?
So it could be something as simple as it's like, you know what, we're gonna have a date night. We're gonna do something. I'm gonna be not even just romantic. I'm gonna just be very like affectionate, or or certain things. I know she loves affection. I know, and I love her to death. Like Z is. We talked about this. Your spouse being your best friend. She's not my best friend, but she's my person. She's my person. And I know she deserves the best of me. And it's like, man, I want to be more affectionate for her. I want to be more, I'm not a very lovey-dovey, like I'm not that person. But it's like, you know what, I have a plan to do something. And then I'll get in a moment. It's like, this is kind of like, and so I have the intent to do it. 50, 60, 70% of what I want to do, I'll do, but I'll hold back because part of me is still not comfortable enough to do certain things, or not comfortable. It just doesn't, I don't know. And so the me I am, the me I want to be are two different people. And I want to be that for her. Like it's just, if that makes sense. It's like I'll have in my mind, a perfect situation planned out. But there is a part of me that doesn't let me carry out that.
Do we each want to go through the spouse question and then come back
for the kids? Yeah. Let's do that.
Go ahead, Roz.
Yeah, I'll go. I think for me the thing I do the best is the safety, security, like the providing to make sure, like Leah knows she doesn't have to worry about anything. I'll take all the worry off of her or whatever. I got that. Right? Like she'll call me and be like, this is happening or this is going on. Fix it. Like, she won't even try. Like she'll be like, I know you're going to fix it. And I'll just be like, boom, here's what we got to do, right? Like she knows that I'm there for her like that. But I think the thing that I have to work on, I have to get better on is like, for you say the lovey-dovey, like I don't like being celebrated. And so it's hard for me to celebrate others that kind of the same way, right? Like I always talk about how, if y'all give me attention or whatever, it makes me itch. And so kind of the same thing, me giving attention, me being lovey-dovey, me doing the romantic stuff, I'm just like, that's no big deal. And in my mind, a lot of times it's like, it's no big deal. If I do like these flowers or whatever, decorating the room, I thought it was going to be like a small thing, but it was like huge for her. Right. And so that's what I mean. It's like, for me, I guess I'm just not romantic like that. Like that hopeless romantic. I've never been like that. And so it's something I got to work on because I know she wants it. And so I think that's the part, right? It's like that's where I know I fall short. So I depend on Buff. Like Buff, you need to plan our birthday trip. So I'm just gonna piggyback on it with you. Like
all good.
She literally tells me that. She's like, call Buff and Ferg and ask them what you should do. Just do that, nigga. Just do that.
Help you plan. Just when you get down to it, it doesn't make sense to me. And I think it brings me to, and Buff, I know you're gonna go, but you make That's me hilarious. Think, Rozzy. I think part of that intent, part of it is that there's not a it's a little discomfort that I haven't been able to overcome. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, my logic, when those two things, like I'm uncomfortable and this doesn't necessarily make sense, I'm not like, those are two good reasons for me not to go that extra mile to do something, like, hey, we have a nice date night plan. I brought you to this nice city, or we're doing all these things. The roses, and I didn't think about decorating a room, right?
Right,
Like
right.
it's
And
like,
it's that same. It's like, oh, we're going to this nice city. Do we have to stay in the Ritz Carlton when we could just stay kind of in a normal hotel? And it's like the over the top things is kind of the things that I miss, right? It's like I'm thinking we're going to the city, we're gonna hit a couple, we'll figure out where we're gonna eat when we get there. Like in my head, that's what I'm like. I'm like, we'll fly by the seat of our pants. We'll figure out it's gonna be nice wherever we go, but I'm not that planner to be like, okay, when we get there, we're gonna go to wherever, and I'm gonna call and make reservations. And so now we know we're gonna go here and there. I'm just like, we're going to, I don't know, Portland. We're gonna go to Portland. I might have one thing on the agenda, and that's it. And everything else is just fly by the seat of our pants. We'll figure it out when we get there, right? Let's go to Yelp and figure out where we want to go for dinner or whatever.
I'm
And
trying to miss a
so,
flight. I'm trying to find the best hotel deals. I'm just, I'm trying to make sure the
yeah, I'm checking the
mission.
travel
I'm
stuff.
trying to.
Right,
I got it. It's a mission. It's our
right.
anniversary. I
Like
want
you
you to
say,
enjoy
the
yourself. I
safety
got to
and the
get us there.
security. I got that. We're gonna do that. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there on time. We're gonna have somewhere
You're
to
gonna
stay
drag your feet. You
or
want to clean the
whatever.
house, all that stuff.
Well, for me, I can just pretty much use what she said to me randomly over the years. What I do best is kind of like what Razi said. I take a lot of the worry away from her. She said to me, like, she's even said her friends have noticed that she's like a princess. Like, she doesn't have to worry about anything. She just lets me take care of it and things like that. And I think what I also do well is just learning from, I said this before, but just learning from I felt like my stepdad took my mom for granted and never planned anything like that. Hell, y'all know it became a joke. Anytime you came to my house, where was Lester gonna be?
Right on that couch.
Laying on the couch. You know what I'm saying? So I took that and I said, I never wanted to be that type of man. That's why we have date day and things like that. Like, don't just wait on the anniversaries and birthdays to hang out. Like, let it be a regular ass Friday or Saturday or whatever. So I think I'm very good at always thinking of ways to keep things fun, to keep her happy and things like that. Because I don't like just boring. You know what I'm saying? I want to have fun too. And since I want to have fun with her, it makes it easy for me to do those things. On the flip side, at the risk of making myself sound like a piece of shit, listeners, take it easy on me. Take it easy. But sometimes that works against me because I do a lot of the planning and things like that. There are times when I have an idea, and it may not have anything to do with a date day or anything, but just like what I think we should do as a family. If I've taken the time to come up with a plan and all this stuff in a way to execute it, present it to her, and she's like, no, we should do it this way, this, that. I've gotten better at it, but I still have to deal with, like, damn, man, like why we can't do it my way? It makes me sound like a piece of, I know.
No, I get it. I get it 100%.
But it's just kind of like, God damn, like I did all this thinking on it and I thought about it for weeks at a time and you just did shit all over the plan. And let's do it your way. Like, that is my initial response.
I feel you. I'm that guy too, because if anybody knows me, I'm a lot of times I have what they call analysis paralysis. I think everything through.
Yeah.
I'm gonna always try to make the best decision. I'm thinking things through, and it's almost like you're like, why are you challenging me on this? Like I put it together. Like
Yes.
like, and
I've thought every angle.
Like probably too much.
Yeah.
Too much,
Yes.
and I there's this saying I always say to my wife and my daughter, usually it's like, have I ever led you astray? Like, I literally said that to Skylar today. They, when they did their belt ceremony, like, have I ever led you astray? It's like, just trust what I'm gonna do. And listening to you guys, I share a lot of the similarities, and I think that's part of when I say intent or intentional, those are things like, I don't want my wife to worry. So I'm like, how do I take this off her plate? How am I? So I spend so much of my brain power and energy focused on those things. I tell Z, Byron, you've been with Tabitha longer than, any of us, and met her younger, but Z's been with me since she was 21. Like, she turned 21 in September. I met her in November. Like, she had just started drinking. Like, I've been a part of her life, her whole adult life. She's never had a car note. She's like, been able to try to eliminate some of those struggles and challenges that most women face.
I just thought of something funny, Ferg. Like, I remember the first, I take care of so much. I think it was one of her girls' trips. It was the first time she had to like pay for a hotel room. She was like, "Hotels cost this much?" I want to say, yes, yes, nigga.
Yeah, yeah. Because and it's a blessing because you protected and shielded her from so much that sometimes, and I know Tab, she took it for granted. I think as she's getting older and she's being around more people and she sees the challenges that people are going through, and the fact that we are blessed, we are in a situation where we have a comfortable life, right? She's seeing other people and their challenges, and we're at that age where you're seeing more divorces and all that stuff. Definitely appreciates what I bring to the table and stuff like that a lot more. But man, that's a great question, man. It made me reflect. So let's go to the kids. Kids, I just think one of the best things I do with my kids is just being there. Like, I talk to my kids like we're on the podcast. My kids get a Ferg speech, Ferg philosophy on life and becoming better and all those things every day. I'm so enamored with them, but also I have this yearning to make them the best version of themselves and give everything I can to them. Like, I never want them to be able to say my daddy didn't tell me that. If I knew it, they're gonna know it. Which I put a lot of pressure on myself, and I've stressed myself the hell out. That's where all these gray hairs come from. But I think on the side is letting go. It's hard for me to let go and let them fail and go through things on their own. And they're only 6 and 10, but I'm overly protective of them to a certain extent, not compared to some people. I'm not a hover parent, but it's like my kids. We were joking. My kids can't go down the street. When I was their age, man, TJ's the youngest. He's 6. At 6 years old, I stayed in apartments in Dallas. I used to walk to the bus stop and from the bus stop every morning and afternoon, right? I walked through, how many times I could have been snatched? Walking through apartment complex. I had a bike. I rode all over my little neighborhood, left my complex, went to another neighborhood, rode across a busy street to get to the little school across the street to play football and soccer. Between 6 and 10, I did so much. And I feel like, am I limiting their childhood experiences based off my fears? So that's something I'm fearful of.
Yeah,
What you got, Ross?
kind of along those same lines. I think for me, I am really good about sharing my knowledge, sharing my experience, like you say, for talking to them, showing them. I guess the other part that I really like is, I hate to say I manufacture struggle for them, but to your point about I give them rope. Like, I give them a lot of leeway for them to make their choices and do their things and go places and things like that. And so I give them a lot of freedom and I entrust them a lot. But I think that is a gift and a curse. And you talked about, I've got an adult child. I've got Haley, and then I got the kids. And I think the hardest part was trying to raise Haley like I'm raising Sophie and Ollie without having Haley with me all the time. And so that was really, really difficult. Me and Haley, we talk about that a lot. Like, I didn't adjust for how she was being raised 80% of the time, right? Like, her mom and her grandma and her aunts and everything, they spoiled the crap out of her. And they like let her kind of run things and all of that. And then she came with me. And I think that's kind of having a 2-parent household that she didn't get a chance to have, right? Like, having that father figure and that disciplinarian with that dad voice. And so, like, she would come into my house and now she's like, wait, what do you mean I don't get my way? Or we can't do it my way? Or, whatever. And it's like, nah, baby, you're 10. You're going to do it my way. Right? Like, it's my house. And so that, I think, was where I was probably too rigid and didn't flex there. And that happens a lot with the oldest going into the younger kids anyway, right? You kind of learn from that and everything. So I think that's a little bit of what I did learn raising her versus what, raising Sophie and Ollie. And then them being here, just being with me all the time. They know my nuances, right? They know when I'm yelling or fussing or versus me being serious or whatever there. And so I think that's probably one. And the other one, I think, or the biggest thing that I have to work on is just having fun with them. Like, we'll joke and laugh a little bit, but I've got so much going on between work and then getting them to their things, right? So it's like, hey, put your shoes on. Let's go. We got this practice. Come on. All right. Did you do your homework? Go take your bath. All right. It's time for bedtime. Like, and so not being able to take some time to just kind of chill, laugh, and talk with them. I think that's probably the biggest thing that I got to work on, is just not being so busy and not worrying about the next thing and getting to the next thing, and just take the time to like just really enjoy them and have fun with them. And so I really have to be intentional about that. We do it, but we don't do it enough, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think your mission first. Like you know the parameters, you know the goals. If we can find time to play, great. But you got
We got all
soccer
this other
at
stuff.
you got soccer at 6. You got to be there because soccer is important for you. You know, you got to test in 2 days. Like you can't wait to study tomorrow. Like we're it's always, and I hate being that person. And sometimes I question, like, man, how do my kids see me? Like I'm fearful. Like what kind of therapy are they going to need? What am I not giving them? And then
Historically, kids see their childhood so much differently than the parent.
you true.
Yeah, so that's always funny to me.
That's a good thing or a bad thing, Byron.
It depends.
It
It depends.
I was there for you everywhere.
Exactly.
You ain't never there. I ain't never see you. So that's one thing. So Ali, I was talking to one of his counselors, I think last year, and it almost made me cry when they were like, we asked Ali, tell us about yourself. And the first thing that Ali said is, I'm loved. And that just, right there, I was just like, that's it. That's all. As long as that, I'm good with everything else. So it's like, okay, you're loved.
That's true.
You know you're loved.
Good stuff.
So
Yeah.
that was a huge one for me.
Yeah, I felt that. I'll let you go, Byron. I'm going to share my moment that I had recently.
If there are 3 pillars, just off the top of my dome, if there are 3 pillars, which is love, protection, and preparedness, I think I'm 67%. So I have been, in my opinion, I have been great with showing Jasmine that she's loved. I have been excellent in protecting her. The preparedness, I'm not so sure. And it's like, so like I said, Tabitha asked me this question, and this is what I told her. I said, I know I did my best to make her feel loved. I know I did everything within my power to protect her. Preparedness, I don't know. That's a kind of a wait and see. As she enter her late teens and early 20s, we'll see. And I have second guessed myself on, should I have been more tougher on this area? Like Razio said, should I have given her more rope? Like Ferg even mentioned what he struggled with. Should I have allowed her to fail at more stuff instead of being there to rescue her? So that is something that I constantly think about. She just turned 17, so like we are there. We're getting there, and it's something that I pray about every single night, that I have done a great job, and that it's not too late. That if there's any other lessons I need to teach her, that God touches me to get that message to her before it's too late. But it's just there are a lot of pitfalls in life. We know that people don't have the best intentions a lot of times. And I just hope that I have prepared her to look out for the red flags of those type of people or those type of scenarios. And that's probably what I worry about the most, man. Like, especially if she goes away to college, like I'm really going to be sitting on the edge of my seat. Like, did I give her everything to prepare her for adulthood,
man,
and real life, man?
That is excellent. That is excellent.
What I will tell you, going through this, especially with Haley, right, is it's not a switch. It's not they're 18 now, and you don't get a chance to continue to parent them and give them things, right? Like, as long as you've prepared her enough that she's comfortable going out, living with herself in a dorm or something like that, and being able to call you back and be like, how do I wash clothes? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because like literally, that's what Haley was like. Where's the little scoop for the washing powder? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, it's in there. It's in the bucket.
Funny. You gotta dig a little bit. Yeah, you gotta dig a little bit.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Like, it's crazy.
Like, Haley still calls me.
It's crazy because she's actually a little bit more independent. She's doing her own laundry. I didn't do my own laundry until I moved up here to Virginia, and I was living with my aunt. And she was like, yeah, we're not doing your laundry. Come down. I was 22. My mama was doing my laundry up until then. She's been doing her laundry since she was like 12 or 13. You know what I mean? But that's one aspect. But then there's other stuff that is like, damn, I definitely was more prepared than she is. So,
Oh yeah,
We
and
were
so
bad, so like
and so that is going to be I think that's a great. This wasn't my question, but I want to stay on your topic of preparedness. I'm actually having a conversation, or I'm doing a workshop tomorrow with the Lamplighters on college preparedness and readiness. And so, as you talk about this, I think almost what you said is we look at raising our kids. The child looks at their childhood different than we do. I think we look at preparedness. I think it's a holistic thing. As you were saying it, I think about the two things you were great at: the love and the protection. Did it prepare her more than somebody who understands life struggles? She knows how to be loved. She understands what that comfort level, and she can go, if not knowing how to wash laundry and buy groceries and do certain things that you can learn in the summer. You can't teach anybody how to be loved all of a sudden, how not
right.
to fear. So
Damn.
what are your thoughts? I think let's stick with preparedness. Like, what does that really mean? What are the things we need to be preparing them for? Because I think there's some life skills. You can take it to some place for a week and teach her how to wash, cook, all this stuff. Maybe she holds on to 50% of it. She can go out in the world and make ramen noodles and do certain things. If she hasn't been loved and she's scared and she's hurt, that takes a lifetime to recover from. So, what are your thoughts on what? And maybe it's just a continuation of your question, not a whole question, because we're at time.
yeah, I mean, I think the biggest ones are that how to be loved, how to show love, how to show affection, right? Feeling safe, secure, confident, right? Being able to go into a room and own a room or be confident in a room. And so those are the things that I really like. I hit home and really try to teach that preparedness that you talk about of being prepared to go in a and own it, or not feel less than, or not feel out of place, and things like that. So I really try to put them in situations where we can talk through that and work through that, right? I put Sophie in debate. She didn't really want to do it at first, but now she loves it, right? So I think that's a little bit of what preparedness is being able to be an adult. I think you talk about those life skills, right? There's a little bit of difference of knowing how to cook and understanding if I get hungry, I need to get up and cook, right? And so some days I'll be like, y'all got it. Go make you some ramen. Go make you some, like Velveeta's and cheese, or some raviolis. Go, warm up. They're 10 years old, 11 years old, making ravioli or Chef Boyardee for themselves, right? So like, I'm here, but I'm doing stuff too, and so you can do that if that's what all I was gonna do. Make yourself a peanut butter or ham sandwich or something like that. So I think those are the little small skills of understanding that you have to feed yourself. You have to think about that instead of somebody having to prompt you, hey, have you eaten today? Cleanliness, you'd be surprised. Buff, you've got a teenager, right? Like Fur, you haven't gotten to that point. I don't know what it is, but when they
I got
start,
a
like when they
preteen. I'm there.
turn 11, 12, all of a sudden they could be the cleanest kid in the world, but then they turn 11 and 12 and they just get nasty for some reason. Like, I don't know what it is, like getting them out of there and breaking them out of there. It took me like 4 months to get Sophie to where she would like keep her room clean. It was like constantly me saying, clean your room, clean your room, clean your room. But now it's been like 3 weeks and she's like excited because she's like, my room has been clean for 3 weeks and it smells so good and this, that, and other. And I'm like, that's what, being prepared to be an adult is not walking over the trash and keep going and be like, daddy will get it. Right. It's like you see the trash, you see something needs to happen, pick it up, right? Keeping your space clean. Those are, I think, the biggest ones because in hygiene in general, like making sure that they are like keeping themselves up and presenting themselves well. So a lot of the stuff you probably do with your mentorship now and everything like that, there are a lot of kids that just don't maintain hygiene, don't present themselves well and everything like that. So those are the things that I really want to prepare them for. Like you said, skills of cooking and cleaning everything, they'll get better at time the more they do that. As long as they can not burn the house down, they can boil some water and those types of things, not burn themselves on the stove, you're good enough for college. But everything else, I think, is really just those deep rooted things that you were kind of talking about with like how they see themselves, how they present themselves, and all that is rooted in that safety, that security, that being feeling safe. So then they can go out and they can feel safe. And the other part about that, I think, is, and I hate to say it, it's misogynistic, but from the boys in the group, like, I'm really worried about them being able to be a man, right? Being able to provide, protect, and everything else, and be able to do that. I want Sophie and Haley to be able to manage themselves, but I want my girls looking for men that will provide and protect them, right? And so even if they can do it themselves, I want them to be looking for a guy like that. And so I want my boys to be that. So that's another one where it's like, hell, just today, I was building that turtle enclosure. Ollie was out there hammering in nails. He was framing, right? Like, his first time he actually used a hammer, but he got it by the end of it. And that's why it took so long. Was because it took him 5 minutes to hammer one nail. But he was out there with the hammer, getting it in. Those are the things that I want to be able to teach him. And like, all right, you're going to know how to do these things. So lots in there.
You know what it is? You know what it is? The older we get, the further we get away from what it was like during our teenage and early 20 years. Because as I was sitting here thinking, I'm like, wow, while I am concerned about her preparedness, there are some things she's doing that I was not doing at her age, man. And like, her school now, they set up a Zoom call with Princeton University. And like, she didn't want to do it. Like, she didn't want to do it. And Tabitha was like, I signed you up for it. I'm going to log on. If you come down and participate, great. If you don't, it's on you. But I'm telling you, this is something that we think you should do. It's very important towards your future, blah, blah, blah. We left it up to her. She wound up reluctantly coming down, participating. And by the end of it, she was glad that she did. But I was still mad at the fact that she wasn't eager to do it. But then I have to think like, damn, when I was 16,
You skipped school.
Would I have wanted to do that? Or would I have wanted to go hook up with Cooley and Ferg and Cuddy and Rising?
I was at school.
You know what I'm saying? Like, would I have wanted to just jump in the stands? Hey, I was about to go pick them up. Now you want me to go sit in on this call?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so like, I really got to like try to remember, like, I wasn't always thinking how 44-year-old Byron is thinking right now. So I have to kind of try to pull back my frustration and expectation sometime when it comes to her, because she's 60, she's 17.
Yeah.
It's so funny. On the flip side of that, I have to remember that they aren't me. And so I'm like, when I was 12, like you say, I was riding my bike all the way down the street, right? Like, I was out in these streets at 12. And I'm like, I'm trying to push them to be more like that. And I forget they have a suburban upbringing. To your point, right? They're responsible as hell compared to what I was. So
yeah, and I think that's the balance. As somebody who deals with especially teenage boys all the time, there's levels. It's holistic. Mm-hmm. There were things that they are getting. I'll preface this. I would say one of the best things I could do for my kids is to show them and teach them and give them examples of how to be a successful adult. They're only kids for so long, and so many times we put so much emphasis on making sure our kids have the greatest childhood. And I'm not downplaying that. What I'm saying is the things that Jasmine, I'm using Jasmine because she kind of was the one that kicked off this conversation, has seen in her 17 years of life far exceed the things you saw, the examples you saw, the goals that you've set, the expectations that, like, she's prepared to take over the world. She just has to accept it. Then their journeys is not linear. She's going to make some wrong turns. She's going to make some mistakes. You're going to be pissed off. You're going to be hurt. You're going to be disappointed. But the thing about it is her ceiling starting off is so much greater than what ours was, just because of what you've done in the 17 years she's been alive. So the fact that you said she sat on a call with Princeton. What college calls did you sit on in high school?
None.
Right? I literally missed the banquet that FAMU had to give out scholarships. I qualified for a full ride to FAM. I missed out because I was doing something. I was working. I skipped school and I worked, but I was working. And that decision, me being my father, there's no way I would have missed that. There's no way that I would have known about it, right? Like, so there's a lot of things we're doing. And sometimes we think about the struggles that we saw growing up, not necessarily our own personal struggles, but the struggles we saw around us, family members, whatever, and how mature we were at that age. A lot of it came because we had way more responsibility. Jasmine, 17. All of us had a job at 17. Everyone on this call. 17, I joined the Army. 17, I joined the Army. You were looking at it. Cooley was looking at it. Wendell was looking at it. You know, like all of us were looking at the military. Like these are the things that were going on in our head at 17. It was a different time. It was a different day, different age. And we saw the world differently. And
yeah. I got to see her prop sometimes, Ferg. Like at 16, she could name more senators than I can because she did the PAGE program.
Yeah, 16.
I don't think I knew any senators at 16.
16, she probably named more senators than I can.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. But so that's what I mean. Like, is we got to look at it. It's all relative. You got to see. And there's gonna be some shortcomings. There's gonna be some things that maybe you were cooking more. Like you were cooking at 17. You were cooking. Probably because you were misappropriating food from a certain unnamed restaurant. You know, you literally cooked, right? Like, and so there are things that but I wasn't prepared for college. I survived college just because I've been independent for a while. And I think I was independent by necessity or perceived necessity. And I think all of us were. Like we were probably more independent than we probably needed to be. Our kids can lean on us as much as they need and as long as they need. And they know that. And that's a sense of comfort and protection that I'll speak for myself that I didn't think I had. I'm not gonna say I didn't have because as an adult, I was starting to realize that there was things I probably were self-inflicted. Like I didn't ask for help, right? So, and our kids ask for everything. They don't hesitate.
For sure.
Hey, man. Hey, blame Tabitha for a question that took up the majority of the show.
No, man. No, that's it. Sometimes these questions, this makes more sense than, anything else. So, and I'm just loving Ferg's new camera that's following him and tracking and everything else. Buff, are you seeing this?
It's caught my eye a couple of times. I was like, yo, did he just pick up the laptop and just do this right here? Nah, that's
camera
cool.
Got motion
that's
tracking
cool.
and
yeah, man, that's real cool right there.
Next.
Let's move on.
Closing this out.
Move on.
Let's go ahead and close it on out, fellas.
Go ahead, Raz.
The only thing I got, man, is I want to shout out Birmingham PD for their transparency. So over the weekend, Birmingham had a police-involved shooting, and they ended up killing a resident, right? Vanessa Ragland was her name, 32 years old. And within hours, they released the body cam footage, held a press conference, and said, hey, here's what happened, right? IID is going to come in. They're going to do the things. They're going to do the investigation. But we want to let y'all know what happened with this shooting so that, there wouldn't be this outcry or what happened and everything like that. And that was really, really refreshing there. And it may be because it was very, very clear that it was, probably a warranted shooting. So they did that and they wanted to get in front of it. But the way they did it, I think was really, really smart. And I hope other municipalities kind of follow that same type of playbook where if you have a shooting, release the footage as soon as possible and just go from there, right? Good or bad. And then so it's out there and just let people know what's happening there. But I just want to shout them out on having that transparency, getting it out in front of everybody and not having everybody kind of wonder what happened with it. So, but that's it, man. That's all I got.
First and foremost, Contentville, what up? Check us out on the Inspire You on Air app and click on Contentville. You can check us out. You can listen to past episodes as well. Sometimes your schedule gets a little busy and you can't keep up with every new episode that drops on Monday. So check us out on Contentville via Inspire You on Air. And I didn't plan on saying this, but also, fall is here. 3brothersnosense.com. We got you on the hoodies, baby. The hoodies and sweatshirts. Check us out. Hey, if you somebody that like, man, I ain't finna wear a shirt with three of y'all Negroes on my. We got other hoodies and sweatshirts that don't even feature us on the website. So check out the website, copy some merch. I also want to. I mentioned that I was going to post links for those that are affected by the government shutdown, and I kept my word. They have been posted. So go to Three Brothers No Sense on Facebook. There are about 3 posts that address the government shutdown and how you can get help from food to low interest loans that don't kick in, to the repayment don't kick in for like up to 90 days from now. So if you're someone that's affected and not getting paid like me, and you need a loan, you can check that link out. And also, there are places around the country that are helping people out with food. And also, remember, talk to your utilities companies. A lot of them will work with you and suspend payment as well as late fees until this government shutdown is over. And you get them to keep the lights on, keep the water on, but not have to pay for it until this shutdown is over. I am blessed to where I've been able to take care of the necessities, like I said at the top of the show. But not everybody's in that position. And if you're not, please check out those links that we have posted. Now, there's a rumor that they are finally going to try to work on something to end this shutdown this week. But as I have been telling people, probably the shutdown ends the end of this month, somewhere around November 21st. But prepare for January. So that's like your window. So make sure you have the resources or whatever it takes to last you till January. I think that's all I got, man. I just want to give a shout out to the people that rock with us every single week. I have a coworker in my book club that listen to us every week, man. I appreciate you, bro. I'm not sure if you want me to name you by name. Let me know the next time we in the group chat. And next time I'll name you by name, but I never want to name people by name because I don't know, some people are funny like that. But just thank you guys that listen to us faithfully every single week. Continue to pass the word. For whatever reason, our YouTube videos are getting, like, without any promotion, like the last episode got more views than it usually gets on a normal basis. I don't know if y'all are talking or if Razio is just picking good headlines for clickbait. I don't know, but man, spread the word, share the video, share the podcast. Thank you guys for rocking with us. We've been at this for 6 years?
Yeah.
6 years. Yeah. 6 years. Just thank you guys, man. That's all I got.
I had to put you on mute. I don't know if you hear my neighbors celebrate. They are across the street, 3 houses down, but it seems like
3 houses down.
3 houses down, three houses down. But first of all, I want to. It's a holiday. It's all holiday season. You know, I consider holidays right after Halloween, and so soft plug for the Houston Lamplighters. We are kicking off our Giving Tuesday fundraising campaign to help raise funds for our trip to Atlanta for our college tour this summer. We are looking for all donations. We're kicking off. So by Monday, you will see a flyer on how you can donate. There's 2 ways to give. One is to donate immediately through our Give Butter website, and the other one is to make a pledge. We know there's a lot of companies out there that do matching and do special matching around Giving Tuesday. So we're going to give you a way to capture your information so we can reach back out to you to remind you to donate around that time. I've seen companies give 3-4 times on that week. So we definitely can utilize every cent. So I'm asking, we need it. We're a small nonprofit, and thank you in advance. But more importantly, I want to highlight my kids. They're just doing great things. I talked about Sky making a honor roll, TJ just having a really good report from his teacher, but Skylar also put her name in a hat as a 5th grader for a Joel Ambassador, and she was selected this week for Joel Ambassador. So it was just her and a handful of 5th graders who they found to represent the school and their grades, their overall performance, the way they carry themselves, or what they consider an ambassador for the school. So now she is mentoring 3rd grade students. So I think she has a 4 or 5 week program where she has to get trained to become a mentor and to help mentor and tutor 3rd graders. So she's super happy about that. I know she was nervous to put her name in the hat for that. And TJ, you talk about those moments where Ollie talked about being loved. I had to travel a few weeks ago, and my kids had a talent show that they asked me to come to, and I was like, I'm not gonna be able to make it because I had a late flight. But my flight got in. I was able to catch an earlier flight because I wanted to be there for them. And when I say I walked in, the smile TJ had on his face still makes me smile. Just like, he had the biggest smile. He would not turn around. He's totally facing the stage, but he just kept turning around and just smiling, and just, it was so pure and joyful that I can help but smile. He almost made me say shed a thug tear, but it was just special, and I just felt appreciated. Like you said, Byron, our kids have a different idea of their childhood, and the things that we think we're struggling with, they're loving. Those shortcomings. They're just being there. Is, I've heard 1,000. Just being there is just part of the process. And last but not least, I want to congratulate both of them for getting their yellow belt in mixed martial arts. This is their first belt they've gotten. They started about 3 months ago, and they've taken it to it through injury and everything. I think Sky's second or third practice, she dislocated her knee. It was really bad. We had to go to urgent care and everything, and I literally had to pop it back in place. So I was just proud of them. We did the belt ceremony, and thank you to my family that supported them and coming out today. But that's it. Did I jump you, Rozzy?
No.
My bad. My bad. It's been a long day already. But with that being said, Three Brothers No Sense, your favorite barbershop style podcast. 6 Rules of Podcast. Listen, like, share, subscribe, comment, and most importantly, listen again.
Peace.
Peace.